All right, how you doing? Welcome to another video, everybody. Today we are going to do a top 5 for World of Warcraft Reborn Ascension Bronzebeard. I wanted to go over some things with you guys and make sure to cover things that are going to be very helpful to you, aside from the normal, making sure that you're eating food because it gives you bonuses, or, make sure to train every time you get a level. We are not going to be going over rather things like that. We're going to go over things that are a little bit more specific to Ascension and Bronzebeard as well. All right, so the first one is going to be my recommendation of keeping your home point somewhere like Goldshire, Crossroads, Dolinar, Bloodhoof Village, Brill, anywhere like that, a really big quest hub, and, almost early game quest hub, because since we have things like hardcore and nightmare mode and people that are going to be doing prestige once they hit level 60, people are going to be leveling in these busy zones just because it is a lot more convenient to do so. And there's lots of bonuses that come with being in a very popular zone. One of those things is going to be these scrolls that people are popping all the time. And these scrolls will give you lots of different bonuses. They'll give you extra swim speed. They'll give you extra experience for killing creatures. They stack up to 5 times. They'll give you, I don't know if I said movement speed bonus while you're mounted. One of my favorites, which is specifically what I wanted to touch on, which has to do with why I think this area specifically, or these types of areas specifically, these inns that you want to make your home point, is because of the fact that you can get experience bonus to crafting and gathering. Okay, specifically what I want to touch on is things like smelting, things like first aid, cooking, enchanting. A lot of these areas here, they have blacksmiths, they got the forges, they got all that stuff for you to do tons of different things with various different professions. Here, you could go to your capital city or other places. You can gather all the materials that you need and come over here somewhere like this to do those things. And you can be ticking down the time to get a 5% experience buff after hanging out in one of these inns for 15 minutes. And that 5% experience buff lasts for 2 hours. That's why I wanted to really focus in on having a place like this as your home point, because you get all those bonuses. So I highly recommend that. That is going to be my first tip. Tip number 2, the Destiny Weaver. Okay, this is something that I kind of went over really quickly in my last video, but the reason why I wanted to include it is because it is probably the top question that is asked by people within the community. That you see it all day long over chat, and so I felt, even though so many of you already know about this and it may seem a little bit redundant, there's so many people that still don't know, or they know that you can control this, they know that you can control this, but they don't know exactly where to do it. So I am here to let you know this is specifically where you go to turn on or turn off scaling in the game. Okay, monster scaling that you fight, the enemies that you kill, to control whether or not they scale with you as you level, or whether the zones stay the way they are originally intended, where after a certain level the enemies just become weak, like Elwyn Forest. I think the highest level enemy in this zone might be something like level 12, and once you get to a certain point, you're not going to really be getting experience on these enemies anymore. If you want to continue leveling somewhere, you want to continue getting experience so you can finish the area, or if you just really love that area and you want to stay there the whole entire time, you can visit this Destiny Weaver and you can make sure to enable world scaling. So make sure that you are using this or turning it off if you don't want to scale any longer. this definitely is going to be how you can control that specifically. Now, this also has to do with the scaling of items and, you know, quest rewards and things like that, but there's a lot of changing going on right now when it comes to the scaling of items. There's also some, you know, bugs when it comes to the tooltips, and information on that is scanty at best. So I'm not going to go through that specifically, but just know that the scaling affects more than just the enemies itself. Also, you can control your experience bonuses here, whether or not you want to receive any experience bonuses, like experience bonus from the inn, you know, people dropping scrolls and getting experience bonus from things like that, is going to be controlled by this NPC as well. Right now, I am in Northshire Abbey, in Northshire Valley, Elwyn Forest, but this Destiny Weaver is going to be in every single starting location. Just look around for the NPC that says Destiny Weaver. They're going to be in the very close to where you spawn in when you start the game. All right, that is my tip number 2. Okay guys, tip number 3 brings us to the auction house. And with this, I wanted to talk to you specifically about buying things from the cash shop and how to get certain things for much less than what they are actually asking for them. Okay, I am going to use this as an example. Let's go ahead and look over to the cash shop right now and look at a couple of items, right? Well, first off, let's go see what you get for your money. So this is what I'm specifically going to be looking at, right? One US dollar for 3 DP and 15 US dollars for 45 DP. There's a reason why I'm going to use these as a perfect example. All right, let's go ahead and go to the cash shop and look at the pristine pouches. They are 14 slot bags and they are extremely highly desirable. They are realm bound bags. So as a player, you can send those to any of your characters that you want to send them to, Horde or Alliance, and they're 1 DP a piece and they're 14 slot bags. I can almost guarantee that every character is going to be running around early on with 14 slot bags at some point. Now, whether they get them from the cash shop or whether they get them from the auction house, you know, that's going to be the whole, you know, we'll see what happens, but these are always going to be highly desirable. So you can buy them for extremely cheap and you can sell them very, very fast. So for $1 US, you get, for $1 US rather, you get 3 DP. Okay, that is 3 14 slot pristine pouches. Pristine pouches currently are sitting at around, at the time of this recording, they're sitting at around 8 gold a piece. So for $1 US, you can get 3 of those. If you spend $3 US, you would be able to get 9 of these pouches. You can sell all those pouches and you can get something like this, a 26 slot Ironweave bag, or probably wouldn't be able to afford the Mechatork's never-ending storage bag. Okay, the Ironweave bag from the auction house will definitely be an option, but in my opinion, the absolute better option for you to do would be to come over here into the auction house, go to buy, and then click on Jaina's bag and get yourself the Jaina's Dimensional Pocket. All right, this is a 30 slot realm bound bag and it is going for 64 gold currently. With just 8 of these pristine pouches, you can buy yourself one of these Jaina bags. So keep that in mind. You can spend 15 US dollars to get something like this, comparable to this, or you can get it for $3. Now you can do this for all sorts of things. It doesn't have to be, you know, doing pristine pouches, because you definitely don't want to flood the market. But what you want to do is you want to look for low cost items, and low cost, very desirable items that people are going to be wanting and that are going to be willing to spend really, really good money on. Another one of those, maybe not necessarily super low cost, but definitely in the desirable category, is going to be the Wondrous Wisdom Ball, if I can find it. Here it is, the Wondrous Wisdom Ball, okay? This is 35 DP, and this item is so desirable that it almost never comes for sale in the auction house. If it is in the auction house, it is immediately sold out. I want to compare this. There are no Wondrous Wisdom Balls for sale, okay? None. Last person that I spoke to, they said they wouldn't take less than 120 gold for it. Somebody else told me that they saw somebody asking 500 gold for it yesterday. Okay, so I don't know. I've never seen one of these actually trade on the open market. Besides that one person, I said they wouldn't take less than 120 gold, and it's only because I specifically asked for it. Nobody was actually shouting for it. I haven't seen it. I know it's super, super desirable, so if you say you have one, somebody's gonna snatch it up from you. I promise you that. That 120 gold, or you know, more than likely even higher than that, could get you quite a bit. You could use that one item to get yourself 2 Jaina's dimensional pockets, okay? Or you can use it to get yourself you know, the Mechatork's never-ending storage container, right? But this is only a 36 slot container, all right? It's a 36 slot container. It's only 6 slots larger than this, and it's literally double the price, okay? Well, not this one currently. This person's asking a lot for it, but the ones that are trading on a regular basis right now currently are about 65 gold. All right. Eventually, these, I believe they will be much higher than this. Eventually, they will, I believe they're going to go over 100 gold on a regular basis. However, when they go over 100 gold, things like this are going to go very easily over 200 gold. All right. So holding on to things for a really long period of time, it could be a good thing. It could be a bad thing. So you definitely want to watch out with that. All right, everybody, tip number 4 is collecting transmogs. All right, now there's something specific to this tip though. All right, I wanted to show you a very, very easy, simple way to collect transmogs. So first off, if you open up your bag, a lot of times your bag's gonna be completely overloaded with transmogs, right? With me specifically, right before shooting this, I actually, you know, already collected all my transmogs and then vendored everything. So it's hard for me to show you in a large scale how good this is. So first off, for those of you who have not paid attention to tooltips, if you hold on to Control Alt and click on the item, you can go ahead and hit accept to soul bind the item and collect the transmog without having to equip it and unequip it. All right, that is actually pretty quick, but that's not the thing that I really wanted to show you. All right, there is a way for you to collect every single one of the transmogs that are in your bag with one button. Okay, and that is going to be by using this macro that I'm going to put down in the description below, and you will be able to, with one button push, collect every single one of those transmogs. Just keep in mind, when you press this button, it's going to soul bind every single item there, unless it's blood forged, because blood forged, unless you enchant them, to my knowledge, they don't soul bind. I have not been able to soul bind any of my blood forge gear thus far without it being enchanted, or, you know, putting poisons on it with a rogue. This is the macro that I use, and it's going to be a whole bunch of gibberish. So for those of you who, you know, want a TLDR on it, just go down into the description below, highlight that macro, put it in, and you're welcome. It'll save you so much time. When I was told about this, it was a game changer. Somebody from one of the Ascension helpers was on the stream, and they let me know about the macro, and then of course I gave it out on stream, and everybody that was on stream was so happy with it. It just saves so much time. So you're welcome, and I hope you guys enjoy it. All right, now time for tip number 5. This brings us to the bank, which is going to be any high-risk player's favorite place. Make sure that you are banking anything important before you go into an area that you are going to be able to be killed in high risk, which is essentially anything besides a starting zone. When I say starting zone, I mean something like Mulgore, Elwyn Forest, Durotar, things like that. But specifically, not just bank the things that are special and important. Specifically, I'm talking about banking your adventure's cash. Always bank your adventure's cash, your adventure's satchels, and your adventure and your blue adventure's caches. And maybe later on in the game, purple ones, maybe orange ones, legendary ones, I don't know. Epic legendary, who knows? You know, I haven't gotten that far yet. I don't know if they exist. More than likely they do. But I would have many more than this if I was not killed and I dropped some of my adventures caches. Now, I wasn't killed by a player. I died normally, and when you die normally, you also drop a chest, which is something I was not told. I was actually told something different than that. I was told that you have to be killed by a player in order to drop. You have to be killed by a player in order to drop stuff. Nope. It turns out if you are killed, no matter what, you will drop some of your items. And I guess my blue adventures caches that I had on me at the time, and I was just holding on to all of them for a while. I was intending on letting them all stack up to 50 or 99 or whatever they have, whatever they stack up to, putting them in the bank and holding on to them. Okay, that's what I was gonna do. But I looked and I was like, hey, what happened to all my blue chests? And they were just all gone. I don't remember losing them. I don't remember when they dropped, but I just know that they were gone, no longer there. And so just that has to be the culprit. So make sure you're putting those away. Before I ever go level anywhere, if I'm going on a high risk, I make sure I come here and I put those in here. I try to accept my quest at once, turn my quests in all at once. That way I can go ahead and hearth, come back here, empty my bags from important stuff before I go back out there, because I don't want to lose any of those. Those things are very, very important to me, because I'm going to be excited to open them all at 60, which is kind of another tip for you, is to hold on to those suckers until you hit level 60 and open them all at once. All right, it's very, very important in my opinion. All right, that's something that I was told by somebody else on my stream. They said, hey, make sure you're holding on to those until 60. And I said, well, why? They said, well, they scale with you. I said, all right, you know, sounds like a good idea. So I'm holding on to those until I hit level 60, and I highly recommend you do too. I hope you guys enjoyed this 5 tips, and there were definitely some bonus ones in there. You know, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. If you did get benefit from this, please do like the video, subscribe to the channel. It helps me out a lot. And I go live almost every day on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/HeroVision. I will see you guys on the next one. Have a great week. Take care.